You want to be inspired. You want to feel motivated. You want to hear something that shakes you to your core and wakes up that dead part of your soul. Then listen up, because this isn't going to be soft, and it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be a bunch of sweet quotes that make you feel good for 5 minutes and then disappear the moment life gets uncomfortable again. This is going to be raw. This is going to be what you needed to hear 10 years ago. And if you're not careful, you're going to miss the opportunity to finally break free from the mental cage you've built for yourself. Let me start by telling you something nobody wants to admit. No one is coming to save you. Not your friends, not your family, not your boss, not the government, not God if you're just sitting there doing nothing. You're sitting around hoping for someone to notice you, someone to validate you, someone to say, "It's your turn now." But here's the truth. Life doesn't hand out turns. Life hands out opportunities to those who fight for them, and pain to those who sit back waiting. Every single day you wake up, the world is at war, and you're either a soldier in that war or a victim. That's it, there's no in between. You can lie to yourself all you want, but if you're not grinding, if you're not sharpening your mind, your body, your skills, then you are decaying slowly, quietly, pathetically. Most people don't realize it, but mediocrity is a disease that spreads through comfort and complacency, and guess what? Almost everybody is infected. You've been lied to since birth. You've been trained to be soft, to follow rules, to stay safe, to avoid discomfort, to be nice, to do what you're told, and now you wonder why you feel stuck, lost, broken. It's because deep down, your soul knows you were built for more. You were made to conquer, to dominate, to build, to expand, but society castrated that part of you. They told you that wanting to be powerful was toxic. They told you being ambitious was selfish, and you believed it. So now you walk around with that fire inside of you, burning but never igniting. You feel it every night when you lay in bed thinking about the life you could have had. You feel it every morning when your alarm goes off and you hit snooze because your dreams aren't strong enough to pull you out of bed. You feel it every time you look in the mirror and realize you've become just another average man in a world full of average people. You want to know why you're not where you want to be. It's not because of your past. It's not because of your parents. It's not because of your boss or your lack of opportunities. It's because you've been making weak decisions. Repeatedly, you've been choosing pleasure over purpose, comfort over challenge, Netflix over discipline, social media over solitude, junk food over health, sleep over grind, excuses over execution. You keep telling yourself you need more motivation. You think if you just watched the right video, read the right book, heard the right words, you'd suddenly become unstoppable. Let me break it to you. Motivation is a lie. Motivation is temporary. It's that dopamine hit that makes you feel good for 5 minutes and then disappears. Real growth doesn't come from being motivated. It comes from being relentless, from showing up when you don't feel like it, from being obsessed, from being so disgusted with where you are that you refuse to stay there. Your life is a reflection of your standards. If you're broke, tired, overweight, unhappy, it's because that's what you've tolerated. You've allowed weakness to become your identity. You've embraced failure as normal. And now you're drowning in your own mediocrity, wondering why nothing feels right. The reason nothing feels right is because you were never meant to live like this. You were never meant to wake up, go to a job you hate, come home, scroll through your phone, eat garbage, and repeat the process for 40 years. That's not living, that's slow death. That's spiritual suicide. And deep down you know it. That's why you can't sleep at night. That's why you feel anxious for no reason. That's why you keep looking for answers everywhere except the place you really need to look, the mirror. You want to talk about power. Power starts when you stop blaming everyone else and take full responsibility for everything in your life, even the stuff that wasn't your fault, because the moment you own it, you can fix it. You can change it, you can rebuild, but as long as you keep pointing fingers, you remain weak, and weakness is a choice. You think successful people were born lucky. You think they had it easy. No, they suffered. They struggled, they were ridiculed, they were rejected. They bled for what they believed in. They failed hundreds of times, but they didn't stop. They didn't cry, they didn't beg, they built, they outworked everyone. They became monsters of consistency, and that's why they win. Discipline is the ultimate freedom. When you master yourself, your mind, your emotions, your time, you become unstoppable. You don't need someone to motivate you. You don't need someone to hold your hand. You become your own weapon. You train harder. You think sharper. You move faster. You operate with precision and purpose. You don't waste a second because you know time is the most valuable currency there is. And let's talk about time, the most disrespected asset on the planet. People waste it like it grows back. It doesn't. Every second you waste is a second you'll never get again. Every day you sleep in, every hour you scroll, every minute you procrastinate. That's time stolen from your future self. Time is either building you or burying you. There is no neutral ground. Your future self is watching you. Right now. He's watching you skip the gym. He's watching you eat garbage. He's watching you slack off. And one day, he's going to show up, and he's either going to be a king or a failure. You are sculpting him with every decision you make today. There's a reason only a small percentage of people succeed. Because only a small percentage are willing to pay the price. The rest would rather be comfortable than powerful. They'd rather fit in than stand out. They'd rather be liked than be respected. But those people don't win. They don't lead. They don't build empires. They don't change the world. You've got something inside of you that most people don't have. You've got fire. You've got potential. But that potential is worthless if it's not activated. Potential is nothing but a graveyard of what could have been. You either use it or you lose it. You either get serious about your life or you watch it disappear while you scroll. And here's the harsh truth. Most people will never change. They'll hear words like this and feel inspired for 5 minutes. Then they'll go right back to their lazy habits. They'll keep chasing cheap dopamine. They'll keep lying to themselves about starting tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes. Because tomorrow is the favorite hiding place of cowards. You're not like them, or at least you don't have to be. You can be different. You can decide right now that you're done being average. You can decide that from this day forward, you're going to become a weapon. You're going to train harder than ever before. You're going to outwork everyone in your lane. You're going to become obsessed with progress. And you're going to do it alone, without applause, without support, without sympathy. Because you don't need it. When the world sleeps, you grind. When they laugh, you build. When they doubt you, you double down. Because you're not here to play games. You're here to dominate. You're here to make history. You're here to become a living example of what's possible when a man stops making excuses and starts making moves. And one day, when they ask how you did it, how you went from nothing to everything, how you transformed your body, your mind, your finances, your reality, you'll tell them the truth. You stopped pretending. You stopped playing the victim. You stopped caring what people thought. You stopped waiting for someone to give you permission. You looked in the mirror and you chose to rise. So you've decided to rise. Good. Now let's see if you can survive the climb. You think just because you made the decision, the world's going to step aside and cheer for you. You think now that you've declared, I want more, life is going to roll out the red carpet. That's where most people go wrong. The moment you decide to change, the moment you finally choose to step up, life hits back, not gently, not with warnings, but violently, because it wants to see what you're really made of. And most of you fold the second it punches back. You say you want success, but the truth is you only want it when it's convenient. The second it requires sacrifice, the second it demands real pain, most people tap out. You thought leveling up was a game. You thought it would feel good. No, it's war. The war is internal, and it will test every weakness, every insecurity, every soft habit you've been protecting with lies. This isn't about inspiration anymore. This is about identity. This is about who you decide to become when no one's clapping and no one's watching. Everyone wants to win until it's time to work. Everyone wants the crown until it's time to bleed for it. You want discipline, then you better learn to obey the rules you set for yourself when you were at your strongest, not when you're weak and tired. You can't become great by negotiating with yourself. You become great when you become a man of your word to yourself, when you say you'll do something and do it even when every bone in your body wants to quit. That's what separates beasts from boys, and let's get one thing straight. Your mind is your prison if you don't control it. It's the enemy whispering comfort when you should be building pressure. Your mind will beg you to take it easy, to rest, to skip one day, just one more hour of sleep, just one more scroll, one more excuse. And most of you listen, and every time you do, you lose. Not publicly, not immediately, but inside, quietly, slowly, you die in inches. That's why I say, kill your weakness before it kills your destiny. Starve your laziness, choke it, drown it. Stop pampering it like it's your friend. It's not. It's your enemy. It's the anchor keeping your potential from flying. People are waiting for motivation to kick in, but motivation is overrated. It comes and goes like the weather. Winners are forged through repetition, through boring days, through lonely nights, through the grind that nobody claps for. You think winners always feel like showing up? You think warriors are driven by passion every day. No, they're driven by purpose, by obsession, by rage at mediocrity. They're driven by the pain of who they were and the vision of who they're becoming. That's the difference. Most people run from pain, but real men use pain as fuel. They grab it, they carry it, they convert it into power. You got heartache, good. You got betrayal, good. You got failures stacking up. Good, use it, let it burn, let it carve you into something dangerous, and don't expect anyone to understand. Your path is yours. It will be lonely, it will be brutal. People won't get it. They'll tell you to relax, to be more balanced, to take it easy. They'll mock you when you start, then they'll gossip when you fail, then they'll beg to understand how you did it when you win. That's the cycle. You've got to be ready to go through all of it alone. If you need a cheering squad to grow, you're finished before you begin. Learn to move in silence. Learn to suffer in private. Learn to become your own power source. Everyone's looking for someone to inspire them. But no one wants to become the one others look to. Be that man. Be the man who breaks generational curses. Be the man who transforms pain into legacy. Be the man who stands so tall, the world has no choice but to adjust to his presence. You've been quiet for too long. You've been polite, patient, waiting your turn. And what has that got you? Nothing but regret. Nothing but wasted time and diluted potential. Wake up. This is not a rehearsal. This is the only shot you get. You either build a life worth remembering, or you die as another statistic buried in a graveyard of excuses. You want to win, start acting like it, get off social media. Cut the distractions, stop chasing validation, get focused, get disciplined, build systems, track progress, train like a savage, learn like a scholar, move like a ghost, build like a king. Because while the rest of the world sleeps, you should be planning your takeover. People say you're obsessed. Good, let them talk, because obsession is the birthplace of mastery. Show me a man who isn't obsessed, and I'll show you a man who's average. I'll show you a man who will be forgotten. I'll show you someone who watched others eat while he waited for permission to live. No one remembers the ones who almost tried, the ones who were about to start. History remembers the obsessed, the relentless, the extreme, and don't you dare shrink yourself to make others feel comfortable. You weren't born to blend in. You weren't born to be tolerated. You weren't born to clock in, clock out, retire, and die. You were born to expand, to influence, to dominate, and yes, it takes ego. Yes, it takes pride. Yes, it takes arrogance, not in the way the world defines it, but in the way that says, I refuse to accept this weak version of myself. You think humility is playing small. No. Humility is recognizing you're not even close to what you could be. That should piss you off. That should light a fire under your feet. That should make you sick to your stomach when you think about wasting another year pretending to be something less than who you really are. Your problem isn't that you dream too big. Your problem is that you tolerate a life too small. You've accepted scraps because you were scared to hunt. You've lived under ceilings you never even questioned. And now that you've seen the truth, you can't unsee it. That hunger you feel, it's not random. It's your potential trying to wake you up. The question is, will you answer? Don't tell me what you want. Show me what you're willing to suffer for. That's the difference. Everyone says they want greatness. Few are willing to endure the pain that comes with it. Pain of isolation, pain of discipline, pain of losing people you thought would support you. Pain of outgrowing everyone around you, but that pain, it's the path. It's the initiation into your higher self. You have to become addicted to progress, addicted to growth, addicted to becoming dangerous in your lane. And not just physically, mentally, spiritually, financially. You need to be sharp, ruthless with your habits, unapologetic with your standards. You need to look at your old self and feel disgusted that you ever accepted that version of you. Build your body into armor. Build your mind into a weapon. Build your habits into rituals. And build your name into something that echoes long after you're gone. That's the mission. That's the obsession. And that's the only way you'll ever walk into a room and make it fall silent. Not because you're loud, but because your presence carries weight. Stop negotiating with your old self. Kill him. Bury him. Mourn him if you must, but never look back. Because every time you hesitate, the weaker version of you grows stronger, and if you're not careful, he'll win. He'll drag you back into the shadows, back into the excuses, back into the life you swore you'd never return to. The clock is ticking. Every second you waste feeds the life you don't want. Every second you execute feeds the life you do. It's binary. There's no in between. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to rescue you. No one's coming to believe in you more than you. It's you versus you, always has been, always will be. And when you finally break through, when the world sees the empire you've built, they'll ask how you did it. They'll want the hack, the shortcut, the morning routine, and you'll know the truth. They couldn't handle what it really took. They couldn't handle the silence, the rejection, the lonely nights, the broken relationships, the missed parties, the 10,000 unseen hours. But you could, because you were never chasing success. You were chasing transformation, and now they watch in awe, but you don't need applause, because you were never doing it for them. You were doing it for the man in the mirror who finally kept his promise. So here we are. No more games, no more excuses, no more soft talk. You've heard the truth. Loud, raw, and unfiltered. Now the choice is yours. Stay asleep or wake up. Stay weak or rise. Stay average or become a machine forged through pressure, pain, and discipline. This isn't about inspiration anymore, it's about execution. You already know what to do. You've always known. You just needed to be reminded that greatness isn't something you find. It's something you build. From this moment forward, there are no more wasted days, no more waiting, no more comfort. Burn the old version of yourself to the ground and rise from the ashes as something untouchable. Let them talk. Let them doubt, let them laugh. You won't hear them from the top, because legends aren't born, they're built in silence, in struggle, in darkness, and now, it's your turn.